let's move on to a Fox 5 Heather health alert, I should say. We are learning about the potentially damaging effects screen time can actually have on your skin. And joining us to discuss the impact of digital aging and how to protect yourself is Dr. Onyewu. It's so good to have you.
Thanks for having me, Holly.
Another thing that's going to age me.
Well...
I can't fight it, but actually I can fight it.
You can.
Right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit, because I think people don't really understand how screen time can have an effect on your skin.
Yeah, I think everybody understands UV radiation, right? UVB, go out to the beach, you're out in the sun, you put your sunscreen on. Well, high energy visible light, which is the blue light that's emitted from your screens, your iPads and stuff, is another type of radiation, just a different wavelength. So it also damages to this. In fact, the high energy visible light penetrates the skin deeper than the UV radiation from the sun. And so 32 hours in front of a screen is equivalent to like 20 minutes in the hot sun.
So I just want to make sure that I understand. It's actually more dangerous to spend that much time in front of a screen than it is to be like sunbathing.
If you're in front of a screen for long periods of time, absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. I never really thought of it that way. Okay, so what are we talking? We're talking about hyperpigmentation. What kind of things?
So the radiation penetrates the skin deeper than UVB. It releases these free oxygen radicals, and they damage the collagen. Collagen is what keeps the skin together, like the elasticity of the skin. And so you see sagging, you see fine lines. You can see hyperpigmentation, which are those dark blotches also. But all of these are things that happen that age the skin and make the skin look older.
You know, and then there were other things that I was reading about that maybe you don't really connect the dots. Like if you're on your screen all the time, maybe you're not hydrating enough.
Absolutely. People don't sleep as well when they're on the screen all the time. They don't hydrate as well, so you get the damage from these free oxygen radicals, and you get damage from dehydration. Well,
now that we've told you you're going to look 72 when you're 32, let's talk about things we can do to prevent this.
Sure. I think of it sort of how do we prevent it, and then how do we treat it, right? So there's simple things you can do, like the blue filters that you can put on your screens.
They really work.
They work.
Okay.
There's a 20-20-20 rule where after 20 minutes of screen time, you want to take a 20-second break. You want to look at something 20 feet away. It adjusts your eyes, and it stops you from having that constant damage from this high energy visible light.
Kind of like just going into the shade, right? And getting out of the sun for a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then there's skin blocks you can use. There are things you can use on your skin, even in front of screens. We always think of putting these blocks on only when we're going outside. But if you're going to be in front of a screen for a prolonged period of time, you can also put blocks on that will limit how much of that radiation penetrates your skin.
So are these some of the products that you're talking about? This is so funny. I have like a bevy of sunblock, right? In all different strengths. Now I need screen block. Talk to me about it.
Sure. So I started with some things that are simple, that are over the counter. These two you can get. This is a simple sunblock. You can get over the counter. You don't need a prescription. The concentration of block is limited, obviously, because it's an over-the-counter product. But you can use that to actually create a shield to prevent these HEV radiations from penetrating your skin. You can also get something that has vitamin C in it. Vitamin C is it's a very powerful antioxidant. So it fights these free oxygen radicals and protects your skin also from damage. These two can CVS, Walgreens, any drugstore, you can get them. These are more medical grade, so the concentration of this one has vitamin C in it, ascorbic acid. It's water soluble, it stays on the surface of the skin. It also prevents the HEV rays from penetrating the skin.
This is a whole new world I just didn't even know existed. I so appreciate your insight. Maybe you should consider having the conversation with your dermatologist as well. Thank you so much for letting us know. All right, Homa, what do you got in the kitchen today?
You know, I learned a lot from that segment. I'm taking notes.